Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat to the brothers, Yahweh Shemalatan Bashim the sisters. This is the Israel School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, right? We are in Brooklyn, New York, right? We are at the Grand Army Plaza, right? The Grand Army Plaza, right? The Brooklyn Public Library at the Grand Army Plaza at the corner of Flatbush Avenue and Eastern Parkway. Okay, so we will be having classes here every Tuesday, right? Every Tuesday, right? Lord willing, right? 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., right? And also, if anybody wants to come to the school, right, in Brooklyn at this library, if you need any help with directions, you have any questions about the location or the time, you can contact me at my cell phone number, right? 347-280-3520. And you want to text that number, right? You want to say your name and your name and your township. All right. If you are in New York City, you want to say, your name and your township. Meaning your name could be John Smith and you'll say Crown Heights, or your name could be James and you'll say Brownsville, or you could say your name is Jose, Sunset Park. Your name could be Kieran, Flatbush, right? You want to do that, okay? But what you absolutely do not want to do is to ignore the calling of the Most High for you to be into the truth, right? It is the most valuable thing to come into the truth under Commander Jehan. Now, this image I have over here, right? This image is something that they're not allowed to show on TV. Now, this is not the topic of the class here, right? But I want you to see this image. You see what I'm saying? Because the Lord talked about a certain man who is, who is not made to be viewed this way. You know what I mean? But the Lord said that, the wicked man must be revealed. The son of perdition must be revealed. And here are the sons of perdition. Okay. Now of course, the topic of the day, right, is the thing that everybody in New York City is concerned about. And that is what they say is a serial unaliver is on the loose. A serial unaliver is on the loose. I'm gonna go into that, and I'm gonna go into a little bit of the West Indian Day Parade. All right. Okay. So I want those. By the way, right, for those who are wondering, right, about the location of the school, right, we're working with the Wi-Fi here at the Grand Army Plaza Library. And I could say that it's not going to be the best, but it is what is provided until we can try to get something a little better. Okay. Good. All right. Trying to work with the technology here. Bear with me, y'all. All right. Okay. Now I want to get this article, if it would absolutely allow me to. Okay. Okay. In the meantime, while it's having a hard time pulling up, let me show you the Google Maps. All right. So this is Brooklyn, New York. Right. Always take the train to this spot right here. Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn Museum. It's the easiest one to walk from. You just get the train to here, the 2 and 3 train, and you walk along this sidewalk here. It brings you right to the library, which is right here. All right. Let's see if I can change the landscape to satellite. All right. Would it allow me to do that? All right, satellite is always the best one. You get to see the real in lives, the streets, and everything. Okay. And by the way, if you have any questions about the school, any concern you might have about, you want to join the school, but there's this thing stopping you, right? Call me, man. Call me. Every single thing that we do is from the scriptures. And if there's any concern that you may have, all right, you call me. All right. Is there anything you're worrying about your safety? Anything you're worrying about your public image? All right. Something you may have heard. You call me, man. You know what I mean? You call me. If I don't get back to you, you shoot me a text. Don't leave. Don't don't be a sluggard. Right. The scripture says you find a man of understanding, wear out his doorsteps. Okay. So you call me at 347-280-3520, or you text me at the same number, 347-280-3520. Okay. So this is a map of Brooklyn, right? This will be a map of Brooklyn over here. And right in the middle of Brooklyn, right, is this place right here, the Grand Army Plaza, and the Brooklyn Library is right there. All right. So this will be your gateway into the school. If you found Harlem to be a bit too difficult for you to travel to, you know what I mean? But you should not undervalue the word of the Lord, nor should you undervalue the work of the Lord, nor should you undervalue the servant of the Lord. Okay? The truth is the most valuable thing on all the earth. Even the scripture says is more valuable than money. It's more valuable than your car and your house. It's more valuable than horses. It's more valuable than gold and all the jewelries combined. Okay? Okay. Good. Now I want to get into the news. Apparently the serial unaliver in Brooklyn is not appearing in the news. It's not showing up in the news. Okay. You got it's showing up in the newspapers, but it's not showing up in the news. Okay. Especially the new one. The new one is not showing up in the news. All right. Hold on a second. Okay, here's an article. All right. And people are very afraid based on this phenomenon. And I'll say this before we get into it too. They're not putting this in the news, of course, because they need the city to run. Okay? If everybody is afraid of a serial unaliver, people will not go outside, especially women will not go outside. Okay? So this is an article, right? I don't know if you can see this. It says, third young man, right, found unalived in New York City. All right, this is New York City now. Of course, there's unalivers around us. You ever heard of the oppressor? You ever heard of the oppressor's sons? No, my gosh. Let me tell you something about the oppressor right quick, right? We don't got a lot of time, right? We got 20 minutes left here, right? We had a lot to do today. Very, very busy. Every single day is full of action. All right. Even today is my 6th day working in a school in a row. I want to see how far we can push these days. Now, you've heard of the oppressor, right? You've heard of the forced labor master. You've heard of him before. You've heard of the wars he's been in. You heard of the wars that he's been in now. You've heard about the horrible acts that they've done to us throughout slavery and after slavery. You've heard of their white cloaks that they wear in the night when they ride on horses and do things to black people's homes. All right. This scripture says, though his father die, this is Ecclesiasticus 30:4. Though his father die, his father's was the oppressor. His father's was the torturer from France. You know, the Nazis. He were not dead. Why is a Nazi man? Why is it as if the Nazi man is not dead? Why is it as if the British unaliver, the British forced labor trader that forces people onto forced labor ships from Africa to the United States? Why is it as if Those men are not dead. And he goes on to say why. For he have left one behind him that is like himself. That's why these young men are being found unalive in New York City Creek in the last year. Third young man. And they're saying it's all around this club called the Mirage. Right? So around this club called the Mirage, there's a man. There's a man that's walking around. Right? Oops, what's going on with this the internet here? Okay, so even though these forced laborers or the forced labor master is now passed away, it is as if he has not passed away, right? Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he have left one behind him that is like himself. Okay, good. And then you have another one, right? You have another one in the New Testament. Okay, and it says, oh, it's not New Testament, Lamentations 4:18. They hunt our steps. This is also why they don't want this to go on the news, right? It's in one of the newspapers, it's in the Independent. I believe this newspaper called the Independent is not even from the United States. The Independent is from Britain. So here we go. So if you see at the top of the picture right here, right? In that top corner right here, right in that top corner right here, right? That says US crime, right? US crime news. While we in the United States cannot get these crime news. Because why? Lamentations 4:18, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Okay, that's what it says. The key word, that we cannot go in our streets. That we cannot go on our streets. Now, if people in New York, right, cannot go in their streets, and the city of New York runs on people working, if the people of New York are afraid to go in the streets, there will be no garbage being collected on your streets. There will be no buses running up and down your streets. There will be no trains to take you to work. There will be nobody bringing food to you in the supermarket. You see what I'm saying? They will not come to, the trucks will just not come to New York because they don't know if they're going to be unalived at a hotel. You know, if they're going to be unalived at a truck stop. They don't know where this unalive is. They don't know his patterns. They don't understand where he's going to be. They don't know what he looks like. Another thing, they don't know who he is. They have no idea what he looks like. Okay, the picture of this guy right here is not the serial guy, right? This is one of the victims of the serial guy, right? One of three, and one of them being black, and he looked very LGBT, and he was a victim. Here's another thing too. Why in the UPK we don't worry about no bad places. We don't worry about no things like that, right? Because even Christ, before we get to Christ, we don't get what the Lord said by Moses, right? He says, Moses said in Deuteronomy 32:39, "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive." That's another thing you should know about the Most High. If you see someone unalived, that is someone who has noticeably pissed off the Lord, and the Lord ran out of mercy on him and his soul, right? Okay. I kill. This is the Bible now. Deuteronomy 32:39. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And when the Lord sends an unalive to come unalive you, He sends an unalive to come unalive you. And when you get into the unaliver's hands, right, the Most High is the one who determines whether you get free from him or whether you are taken by him. Okay? Okay? And then there's another scripture, all right, where Haushad says there's not a bird. Hold on. Let me get it for you right now. I'm paraphrasing. I don't see it right here, right? But even a bird doesn't fall out of a nest without the Lord's permission, right? Not even a bird falls without the Lord's permission. Okay. Let's see if we can get a scripture for it. This is Matthew's 10 and 29. And then we're going to go to Job 30 and 5, right? And then it's lucky for my voice. You know, I like to get up in the energy and rage, but this is a library, right? This is a public library, right? Right, and they are very concerned about the know that will come here, and we have to make sure that our doors are open to receive the public without any interruptions, right, by a suspected somebody, right? At the table here, right? At the table here is the Amalekite library keeper for this section here, right? And we haven't received any problem so far, other than the time before where they'll come over and they'll tell us to just bring it down a notch, and we comply. And we comply so that we can remain here. Okay? So we're going to Matthew 10 and 29. And it says, "On 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father." All right? So 2 sparrows, that's a little bird, are sold. They're sold for certain thing, for certain equity, right? They're sold for a certain thing, right? But they say you would even have a sparrow if it was the Most High that gave the angels permission for that sparrow to fall on the ground. And then it goes on to say, verse 30, "But the very hairs of your head are all numbered." So we don't walk with fear. I walked to Brownsville. I was in Brownsville today. I was in East New York today. You know what I mean? We just go there. We look at camp spots. I'm looking for a camp spot in Brownsville. I'm looking for a school in Brownsville. I'm looking for a school in Crown Heights. All right. I walk all around Crown Heights. Why? Because why? Fear ye not, therefore. I don't fear. I fear the Most High. I don't fear. We don't in the UPK and the Comangiano. We are not taught to fear men. We don't fear men. We don't fear the police. We don't fear the FBI. We don't fear the CIA. We don't fear the judge. But we understand that the Most High put these people in their respective powers and places. So we have to respect the judge for the power that the Most High has given him. And we respect all authority, as all authority is ordained by the Most High. And the Most High is in control of the earth. Okay, good. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. So you see pigeons flying in the sky. You thinking that you gotta get unalived while those pigeons stand flying in the sky? No, don't do that. Don't think like that. All right? Understand that you, especially you with the truth, who are not pissing off the Most High, are very valuable to the Most High. Okay? Very valuable to the Most High. So we don't worry about no devil. Okay, good. Here is Job chapter 30 and 5. Right? And it says here, "They were driven forth from among men." And this is what should happen to the oppressor. Even though they're kind and they walk around all day and in public they seem very nice and chill. They look like all they do is get high and polite. These people, right, make plans to destroy our people. The only reason why there was children in cages right now on the border, detained, separated from their mothers for years and their parents for years, and can't find their parents, and they're gonna have all these hugging ceremonies at the border between the United States and Mexico, is because it's these same people that are walking around who are very kind and polite and act like nothing is going on other than them being kind of polite all day. These people are hurting the children of Israel in ways that many people cannot see. Job 30:5 says, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Other people are crying after these people who seem nice and polite. Tell you good morning. Some other people are crying after them like a thief. So it says, all right? They were driven forth from among men to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Why? Because you don't know what that serial unaliver looks like. You don't know what he looks like, but he's around. And in the daytime, he hurts nobody. But when you go to that Club Mirage at night, Club Mirage. When you go to the Club Mirage at night, all right, there's someone who wears a suit in the daytime. Let me show you about this Gilgo, the Gilgo Beach unaliver. Have you heard of the Gilgo Beach unaliver? Let me show you what this guy looked like. All right, Gilgo Beach. Here it is right here. The Gilgo Beach unaliver. First of all, this guy worked on Wall Street. Look at this guy. This is the serial Long Island serial man. Right? How does he look? Take a good look at the Long Island Beach. The Long Island Beach serial man. And by cereal, I don't mean Kellogg's, Frosties, and Cocoa Puffs, and the mother cereals, Captain Crunch and Fruit Loops. I'm talking about the cereal man, cereal with an S. All right, take a good look at it. That's our call to close the class, right? So we give it 5 more minutes, right? This is him, right? And this is his victims over here to the left over here, young girls of their own kind. You see what I'm saying? And this is what they do to their own kind. You could imagine what they do to us and the intentions they have for us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Right? It's just people also search for the names of his victim: Mary Gilbert, Maureen Brainerd, Amber Costello, Shannon Gilbert. Let's get some more pictures of the Long Island serial unaliver. Let's see what this guy looks like. Okay. And it says to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys. And the guy wore a suit. That's what that guy was wearing. That guy wears a suit. He wears suits in court. He works on Wall Street. Right? Look at this guy. And then they called it a cold case. Hold on now. Look at this now. Look at this. Look, are you seeing these images? Look at he's wearing a suit over there. Yeah, he's wearing suits. He looks nice. He looks like he greets you good afternoon. You know what I mean? He looks like a high valued man that his sisters want to get. You see what I'm saying? Look at this one right here. Look how kind he looks. Looks like a little sheep. Looks very kind and tender mannered. But he's a serial unaliver. All right? To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in rocks. Why? Because you can't keep them around us. This man cannot stay. You might say, oh, there's some good ones, some bad ones. Which one is the good ones? Was he the good one? Was he the good one when you did not know what he was doing? Or was he the good one before he started doing what he was doing? Among the bushes they brayed. Under the nettles they were gathered. They were gathered, meaning what? And the nettles meaning this is a bush where nobody else will go. Right? You ever heard of stinging nettles? Among the bushes they brayed. What does braid mean? Let's get what braid means. B-R-A-Y-E-D. Braid. Braid. definition. Okay. Internet is working funny in all parts. Okay. Utter a bray. Speak or laugh loudly or and harshly. Okay, there you go. So they in public they are well mannered, but what under the bushes, among the bushes, you see what I'm saying? In the bushes when they're in hiding, away from the public view, these people act in a very different manner and they talk in a very different manner according to the Bible. Under the nettles they were gathered. Under the nettles is the thing that stings you in the bush. This is where they gather together. Why are they under there? Because you can't go through the nettles to see them or to hear them. You will never go there. Verse 8, they were children of fools. Yeah, these are silly people. You see what I'm saying? They don't know that the law got something for them. Yeah, children of basement. These are children of dummies. They were viler than the earth. These are viler than all the people of all the earth. That was the Amalekite. Just to let me know that our time is running up, and we want to abide by the rules to make sure that we can keep the thing going. So, Grand Army Plaza, the Brooklyn Grand Army Plaza, and by the way, this was the last stop of where the West Indian Parade ended. The West Indian Parade ended down here, where all the sisters are dressed like victims to all kind of horrible men in the earth. Right? That's what the sisters did yesterday at the West Indian Day Parade. They dressed like they had no father. Right? Sisters of the most beautiful kind, dressed like they had no father, dressed like they had no upbringing, acted like they had no upbringing, made all the mistakes that they're going to regret yesterday in life. They went to party yesterday and party last night, and then they're going to be filling up today. Today is when the STD clinics, CDMD is going to make the most money today because they all violated themselves and violated God last night. You see what I'm saying? And ruined their integrity last night. Okay. So now with that, right, I want to invite you all to Harlem, New York, where our main school is, right? 2279 3rd Avenue. You can absolutely go there. You're welcome to come there, right? Every single day, right? On the weekdays, right? Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., right? And we'll be at this library here, right? Every 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., right? On Tuesdays, right? And if you need anything, if you have any questions, you're not sure about something, you don't understand the school, you don't understand why we have to do this, why we got to go in the street, or there's something that you're worried about, whatever the case may be, feel free to call me, right, at 347, right, 347-280-3520, right? I'm Police Officer Halahab, Israel School UPK Brooklyn. This is at the corner of Flatbush and Crown Heights, right? We are right across from Prospect Park. Right. One day I hope that the Lord give us mercy, to raise these brothers up in Brooklyn so that we can even have a Hebrew Academy one day when the one in Harlem gets too big and we're gonna split up into 2 Hebrew academies. We want to have one in the park, and among 12 tribes in New York, we have the population. We have the population to do this. We can absolutely do this, and we should, and you should play your role in the Lord's plans, and you should get involved in the Lord's plans. You see what I'm saying? And be one of the pillars of foundation as the UPK is just getting started. All right. So we was established in 1969, right, at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are now under Commander John, who the Most has raised up to be the leader of the 12 tribes, to take after the men that was before them. All right, to take after the men that was before them. I don't agree to. Shalom.